Well, hello again, and welcome to another Hyperion Morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I know it's a Tuesday that can feel very much like a Monday, but guess what? It's Tuesday. It's not Monday. It can be tough coming back from a holiday weekend, but we're already part of the way through it. It'll be the weekend again before you know it. Good morning, Marianne. Good to see you here this morning. Appreciate you coming along. Appreciate you coming along. Thank you for being here as we just try and share some positivity with you most every morning. That's what our goal is here, trying to just get your day started with a smile and whatever, some interesting information. At least I hope it's interesting, but just some fun, no matter what. So, hey, did you have a good weekend? Were you off on Monday? I hope so. But either way, hopefully you had an amazing weekend, a fun weekend. We had a great weekend. We were out at the Walt Disney World Resort. You may have noticed the reason we were gone, or at least gone from here, because we were very, very busy over the weekend. Hey, Laquan, good morning. See you over there on Instagram. Welcome to the show. Good to see you here this morning. So, yeah, we were out at Destination D23 over the weekend. If you follow us on social media, you probably already know that. If you watch, we did pop in. It was a little late in the morning yesterday to do a little bit of a live shot. I'll admit, it was resort Wi-Fi, not the best. I don't know if I think the video didn't come out. It was a little choppy because of some of the resort Wi-Fi, but we wanted to pop on and just talk about a few things that were announced out at Destination D23. But we did have some fun. We had a great time at Destination D23 and many, many other things throughout the Walt Disney World Resort over the weekend that we're going to discuss here and discuss at length on our episode coming up this next weekend. But yeah, a lot of great stuff. Some of the announcements we talked about yesterday that were amazing. How about that Walt animatronic that's coming to the Carousel of Progress? So if you haven't heard, I don't know where you've been if you haven't heard, but if you haven't heard yet, they're going to be updating the Carousel of Progress. I think keeping it mostly similar, but maybe updating a few scenes. The big announcement was that the intro portion of that is now going to be a Walt animatronic that's going to come out and basically welcome everybody to the Carousel of Progress, which I think is fantastic because, look, it's the only attraction at Walt Disney World that Walt actually rode in. It's the only one. So it makes total sense that he would be the one. He was so tied in the World's Fair, and this was something that came from the World's Fair. I think it's phenomenal and very, very excited for when that eventually comes about. No dates on it yet. No dates when it's closing. No dates when it will be reopening, but exciting for that. Of course, the other big announcement was the Cinderella Castle is going to be returning to its kind of more classic look, the new paint style. You can see it a little bit here in the concept artwork. Let me zoom in here. You can see a little bit more like classic. That's the one that I saw the first time I ever came to Walt Disney World. It looked a lot like that. But I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. I kind of grew accustomed to the more pink castle, and I like the pink castle, but I do like the classic castle, and I'm excited to see what it turns into. Marianne, you're thrilled. That's great. Yeah. I'm excited too. I think it was fun. It was a big. There were not a lot of announcements. I'm going to say this at Destination D23. The reason why they didn't have a parks panel there is because there weren't a ton of things that came out. But this was one that gave everybody a cheer, a gasp. People were excited about it. This was during there was a panel about castles around the world, and this is where that came out, and that was very interesting and fun. Laquan, you're excited too. That's great. That's awesome. Also, one of the other announcements, and not that it's a huge surprise, but they officially gave us at least a season when World of Frozen will be opening up at Disneyland Paris, which I'm very excited about because, as we all know, #RealMenLoveFrozen. Very excited about that. That is going to be opening up in spring of 2026. They showed us some clips of them putting together Elsa's castle on the North Mountain and some other things around there. It looks beautiful, fantastic. Really, really excited for that to be opening up, and hopefully we'll be getting to Disneyland Paris sometime in the next few years to check it out for ourselves as well. But there was a lot of great stuff on. Oh yeah, Jodie Benson was great. Jodie Benson had her hands in a lot of the panels this weekend over at Destination D23. As a matter of fact, they named her the D23 fan ambassador. So I think that she's going to be making a lot more appearances at some of these D23 events coming up. But she was all over the place. It was great. Of course, we saw her on the DVC member cruise recently. But yeah, she was all over the stage performing and introducing panels as well, and could be more excited. She's a great fan ambassador for sure. So yeah, excited for that completely. And we also learned when the D23 Expo, which it's called the D23 Ultimate Disney Fan Event. It's too long a name. We will always know it as the D23 Expo. That's coming next year, August 14th through the 16th in Anaheim. That's the big one. This is like D23 Light. That's the large convention, the large expo, and we are planning on going. We're already making plans to be there for that. But there was a ton of fun things that happened. We got to see clips from several of the movies that are coming up over the next year plus, including we got to see a little bit of Mandalorian and Grogu. Very excited. Zootopia 2, other fantastic movies, Tron Eras, many things that are coming here very soon. We did see the Phineas and Laquan, the Phineas and Ferb panel, Dan Povenmire and Swampy Marsh out there. And they were answering some questions and doing some drawings while they're out there. They had 30th anniversary of a Goofy movie reunion. Bill Farmer, Jason Marsden, Kevin Lehman, the director, are out there speaking about it. A reunion of a lot of some of your favorite stars from the Disney Channel series over the years were out and had a great talk as well. So many amazing panels, so much fun. And this was great too. They were doing was a D2K, talking about so many of the films that came out right before the year 2000 and right after the year 2000. They had a lot of the people that were producers or directors on some of those films. And at the end, they had Joey Fatone come out and sing Trash in the Camp, which because, they did NSYNC, did the credits version of Trash in the Camp. And so Joey Fatone came out. I believe he was performing at Eats the Beat that weekend. So it made sense he was around, which he's around Disney a lot. So it shouldn't become surprising. But yeah, Joey Fatone came out there. It was a nice surprise for everybody and a lot of fun as well. Again, talking a lot about this later. But this was one of the highlights, I think. Total surprise. I didn't know that they existed. There is a pipe and drum band that is right here in Central Florida. It's the Lake Buena Vista Pipe and Drum Band. Troupe, whatever you want to call them. They came out and did a little bit of a surprise performance. It was all kind of on bed nods and broomsticks, and it was wonderful. See if I can add the video here a little. There, and we had an island dancer, and they came out and performed, and it was one of the true highlights of the entire thing. It was just so fun to have them come out there and perform. And then they went out and they marched out. Becky Klein, who is the head of the Walt Disney Archives, she led them out through the crowd later on and into the hallway where they went out there, and it was great. We had a break after that, and they performed for a good 10, 15 minutes. And it was spectacular. They were amazing. They were great. I didn't know they existed before, and now I'm so excited that they do. And then you know that they are out because they were phenomenal, great, and yeah, just really, really cool. Really, really cool. So yeah. Anyway, check them out if you get the chance to. If you see them around, they are made of firefighters. Really cool. Yeah, I couldn't have been more excited about that. So that was really excellent as well. Also, we did get to the Beacon Barrel. Yes, we did Saturday night. We were busy. We had like 4 hours of sleep every night through this thing. That's why we weren't getting on in the morning, because we had to get going very early and we were up very late. Beacon Barrel is great. We'll talk more about it this weekend. It's fantastic. Tried several of the cocktails, tried some of the food, checked out the ambiance. It's fantastic. We'll talk at length about that this weekend. And yes, we did get out to Mickey's not so scary Halloween party. You can see us there dressed up in our costumes for the event. But it's all the fun you expect from that not so scary party. Booty you. We tried some of the food, got to see the nighttime spectacular, headless horseman. It was great. We enjoyed it. Again, we'll be talking about it at length coming up this weekend. Hey, it is September 2nd, 2025. There are national days going on. Enough about our weekend. Let's talk about what's going on today. Today is National Live Fearless Day. I guess that ties into not so scary Halloween party. You can be a little fearless and see the headless horseman or whatever you like. Maybe we're getting out to Halloween Horror Nights, Live Fearless. It's just a day to kind of, get past some of those fears that you have that are holding you back, possibly, if you can do it. If you can do it. Face your fears and try and get through them and maybe accomplish those goals you have set for yourself. So yeah, it's National Live Fearless Day. Maybe living fearless means getting on the phone. It is also National Telephone Tuesday, which is apparently always the day after Labor Day. Telephone Tuesday allegedly is the day that telephones, apparently there are more calls on this Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, than any other day of the year. At least traditionally, that has been the case. Apparently, people looking to schedule their next vacations. I don't know if it's true today because I think we do so much on the internet and other things. But apparently, traditionally, this is the day that there were more phone calls than any other day for a variety of reasons. So they call it Telephone Tuesday, always the Tuesday after Labor Day. Had no idea, but I find that fascinating. Also, it is National Calendar Adjustment Day. I forgot to put a slide in here, so I'm just going to talk about it. Calendar Adjustment Day isn't a day to just go through and check your calendar and adjust it as possible, although you can use it for that. Apparently, this is a day that goes back to the or I guess it was the mid 1700s, when the British had the British Calendar Act in 1751. And what they did is tried to change to the Gregorian calendar, and they needed to kind of sync it up with the Julian calendar. So what happened on this day when it actually took effect in 1752 is basically people went to sleep on September 2nd and they woke up and it was September 14th. They basically just eliminated like 11 days off the calendar. Yeah, because they had to adjust this calendar. Very fascinating. They also shifted New Year's Day to actually being January 1st. Apparently, it hadn't been January 1st before that, but New Year's Day became January 1st. I found it fascinating. That's why I'm sharing it, because I found that interesting. I guess people weren't really happy that 11 days just kind of went away off the calendar. That's what the rumor is. They like, give us our 11 days back. Pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, Calendar Adjustment Day. And maybe also an adjustment you can make today is getting into your closet and going through and deciding what you want and what you don't want. It's called Another Look Unlimited Day. It's to go through your closet and basically see what you need, what you don't need, donate what you don't need to charity or get rid of. Kind of just go through your closets. It's a good thing to go through every once in a while. Go through your closets and decide, hey, I haven't worn this in over a year. When am I ever going to wear it again? Decide if some things it's tough. Some things you're like, okay, I don't want to part with this, sentimental reasons, whatever. But if you can find some reasons to get rid of some things, it's always good to pare down a few things. Unclutter yourself on this Another Look Unlimited Day. Also, today happens to be National Coconut Day. If you love your coconut, today is your day for coconut. I am not the hugest, I'm a good fan of the coconut flavoring, just coconut itself. Not the hugest fan of, just it's a texture, it's a styrofoamy texture thing for me. But I do like coconut. I do like coconut, the flavor anyway. Just not maybe like, the shaved coconut or whatever, just because of the texture issues. Just something with me that I'm weird about. Also today happens to be Blueberry Popsicle Day. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've ever had a blueberry popsicle. I don't know if I have, but I love blueberry and I'm not against the blueberry popsicle. I would definitely eat one, especially on a hot day. Would love a blueberry popsicle. I just don't remember. I don't feel like they're around a lot. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Maybe I have had a blueberry popsicle. I just can't recall ever having one. But hey, again, very refreshing. Today's a great day to have a blueberry popsicle. Hey, if it's your birthday today on September 2nd, 2025, a very, very happy birthday to you. Here are some of the amazing people you celebrate your birthday with. How about great actor, former football player, Mark Miriam? You haven't seen them either. I'm like the same way. I don't remember seeing blueberry popsicles, but apparently there's a national day for it, so they must exist somewhere, Marianne. Or you can try blueberry popsicles, I guess. Anyway, yeah. Mark Harmon, great actor. He turned 74 today, born on this day in 1951. He's been on many, he played quarterback at UCLA, played college football, and then went into acting, was in St. Elsewhere. He was in Chicago Hope, spent many, many years on NCIS, yeah, I did say it right, NCIS. More recent, he was in Freaky Friday, and more recently he's been in Freakier Friday as well. He was Emmy nominated for a role that he had as a recurring character in The West Wing for a while, but he's been in many television shows, many movies. Happy birthday to Mark Harmon. Happy birthday to Keanu Reeves. That's right. He turned 61 today, born on this day in 1964, going all the way back, of course, Bill and Ted. He was also, of course, in The Matrix, Speed, more recently, John Wick. He's also Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4. I don't know if we'll see BC. We did see a little bit of Toy Story 5, by the way, out at Destination D23. I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit about that. Now, no spoilers, but we did see a piece of Toy Story 5. I'll just say it looked great. Anyway, I don't know if we'll see him in Toy Story 5, but he was in Toy Story 4 as Duke Kaboom. And finally, last but definitely not least, Salma Hayek turns 59 today, born on this day in 1966. She's Desperado, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. She was Academy Award nominated. Matter of fact, she was the first Mexican actress to ever be nominated for an Academy Award for playing Frida Kahlo in Frida. And then more recently, she has also been in The Eternals, for those of you Marvel fans out there. She's been nominated for multiple Emmy Awards as well, and won once, not as an actress, but actually as a director. So she's had a great career. Happy birthday to all of them. And again, if it's your birthday, a very happy birthday to you. Bit of shameless self-promotion before we get out of here. We did have a new episode drop on Sunday. It's been it's been a holiday weekend. Maybe you haven't gotten to it yet, but it's a great, great episode. Caps off a month, our whole August. One of our favorites. One of our favorite months of our 7+ years of doing the podcast, because we had so many great guests and other great things to talk about. And this one was also one of our favorites. We talked with author and historian Didier Guez about his book, his monograph, The Origins of Walt Disney's True Life Adventures. Basically, the story of how these came about, which is fascinating because, obviously this was started back in the 30s. And the Walt Disney Company was an animation company, and how did they transition to becoming this company that puts out these groundbreaking documentaries, mostly nature documentaries, but other documentaries as well? How did they get to that point where they start making these things that they still influence the documentaries you see today, the nature documentaries, the other documentaries? They all came because of these true life adventures exist. And Didier, he puts in great time, does amazing research, finds fascinating stuff. The book is great. Check it out. Check out this interview. Again, it's on our pod. It's, if you get the podcast, the audio version is out now. Video version coming. I'm going to be working on it probably tonight. So the video version should hopefully be released tomorrow. A little bit later than normal, but we were out of town. But hopefully we can get that done for you. But anyway, you're going to love it. He is fascinating person, and he did some fascinating research. I'm glad you're excited. You and Derek both. I'm glad you're excited about it because it is great. He's great. Shows his passion for the subject matter like he does in everything. We've had him on the show before, and very, very excited for you to hear it. So yeah, check that out. And then of course, this week coming up, as we've already mentioned, we will be talking all about Destination D23 and our other things that we did around that, including Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which is funny, celebrating Halloween in August, but what can you do? That's Disney. And also like things like Cuscotopia, the actual destination D23 Beacon Barrel. We'll be talking all about that this weekend and couldn't be more excited to share that with you. All right, gonna get out of here. Everybody, I know it feels like a Monday, but it's not. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. You got this. We're almost at the midway through the point of the week already, even though it feels like it's just starting. So we'll get through it together as we always do. And as I like to say every day, please, please, please keep on sharing that kindness. Keep on sharing those smiles. And of course, keep on sharing that positivity. Be back with you tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m.-ish to do all those things with you once again. Until that time, everybody, have a magical day. See you tomorrow. Bye.